Hey, welcome back, tribe. This is RayTube practice question number 18, so stay tuned. Okay, so let's dive into it. A social worker has been attending a 12-step group for the last 2 months for help in maintaining her sobriety and believes the group has been very beneficial. During the last group, the social worker noticed that one of her clients attended the group, and the social worker believes that the client will continue to attend the 12-step group. How should the social worker respond next? Should the social worker A, tell the client that she cannot attend that 12-step group since she has already been there for the past 2 months and assist the client in finding a different 12-step group? Should the social worker B, immediately stop attending the 12-step group and find another 12-step group to attend to avoid a dual relationship or conflict of interest? Should the social worker C, seek supervision to discuss the situation? Or D, tell the client you only attended the 12-step group to check it out so the client doesn't think you have an issue with substance use? So as always, pause the video, reread through the question, reread through the answer choices, select your best answer, unpause the video, and then we'll dive into the explanation. Okay. If you picked C, you're correct. Why? So let's go through this. So A, tell the client that she cannot attend that 12-step group since she has already been there for the past 2 months and assist the client in finding a different 12-step group. This is incorrect. Why? Telling the client they can't attend something, especially something that is beneficial like a 12-step group, isn't right. Also, we don't have that authority to do so, right? It's not like we own that 12-step group and we're like, yeah, you're not allowed to attend. And it's like, I don't know about that one, right? And regardless of what we're doing, first, next, best is still the overall better response to the given scenario. So just something to kind of keep in mind. So again, telling the client you can't attend is, I don't know about that. B, immediately stop attending the 12-step group and find another 12-step group to attend to avoid a dual relationship or conflict of interest. This is also incorrect. Why? If the social worker has been attending a program/group to manage her personal issues and finding it beneficial, it could negatively impact the social worker's progress if she were to suddenly discontinue going. Keep in mind, as social workers, we're still people, right? Just put ourselves in that situation, right? We're attending in this scenario a 12-step group, right? To manage, what we got going on in our personal life. We're finding it beneficial. We're getting a lot of benefit, a lot of value out of it, right? And to suddenly just stop that, to discontinue that, think about how that will impact us, not even just as the professional, but as the person. And then when you tie in the professional aspect of how that's going to impact working with clients and everything, that's something we want to pay attention to, right? So, immediately stop attending. It's like, I don't know about that, right? And then when we go to C, seek supervision, that is correct. And hold on a second. Let's just go right to D real quick. Tell the client you only attended the 12-step group to check it out so the client doesn't think you have an issue with substance use. That's incorrect. Why? That would be telling a lie to the client. This is not to say we want to tell the client our backstory regarding our substance use, but telling a lie wouldn't be the best approach. Again, we don't have to, lie and say, oh, I was only there to check it out. I don't have a problem or anything like that with substance use. And again, we also don't have to give the client our whole background of honestly, I've been struggling with this issue for X amount of time and stuff we don't have to do all that. But again, lying to the client is no. So when we go back up to the correct answer of C, seek supervision to discuss the situation, let's break down what conflicts of interest actually is. And in 1.06, again, read the code of ethics. It's like a blueprint or guidebook, all that great stuff. A, social workers should be alert to and avoid conflicts of interest that interfere with the exercise of professional discretion and impartial judgment. Meaning, if we know about it if we foresee it, avoid it, it makes our lives a whole lot easier. Avoid it type of thing. But again, in this scenario, it's like we didn't know, we couldn't foresee this type of thing. Social workers should inform clients when a real or potential conflict of interest arises and take reasonable steps to resolve the issue in a manner that makes the client's interest primary and protects client's interests to the greatest extent possible. In some cases, protecting clients' interests may require termination of the professional relationship with proper referral of the client. So again, we always want to take the context into consideration. C, under 1.06 conflicts of interest, social workers should not engage in dual or multiple relationships with clients or former clients in which there's a risk of exploitation or potential harm to the client. In instances when dual or multiple relationships are unavoidable, social workers should take steps to protect clients and are responsible for setting clear, appropriate, and culturally sensitive boundaries. Dual or multiple relationships occur when social workers relate to clients in more than one relationship, whether professional, social, or business. Dual or multiple relationships can occur simultaneously or consecutively. So keep this in mind, right? We're really going to break this down. Always look at the context of the situation. There's no, one size fits all. So yes, if we foresee it, we want to avoid it. So for example, if we knew the client was already going there and we're like, you know what, we want to attend a 12-step, group, a program to kind of manage what we got going on in our personal life. Oh, I know the client goes there, so I'm gonna go there too. We more than likely want to kind of avoid that. But again, let's break it down. So always look at the context of the situation. Above all, avoid dual or multiple relationships whenever possible. According to the NASW Code of Ethics, again, dual or multiple relationships occur when social workers relate to clients in more than one relationship, whether professional, social, or business. So literally outside of that professional relationship that you have with the client when you're providing services to them. Dual or multiple relationships can occur simultaneously or consecutively. Why? Why do we want to avoid this? Simply put, we don't want anything to negatively or unfairly influence how we provide services to clients. Some of you may be thinking, wait, Ray, what if the social worker just started going there and found out the client was the one that was already been attending that group for the past 2 months? What then? Great question. Realistically, imagine yourself in that situation. Would you honestly want to continue attending that specific group if you found out one of your clients was actively attending that group? The client could be completely fine with it, but it could feel uncomfortable and awkward for you as in the social worker. I imagine you will want to just find another 12-step group, especially if that was your first time going. So it's not like you have a certain attachment to the group already, right? So again, when we're putting into context, if we went there for the first time and we saw that, situation and clients there and everything like that, it's the first time. So again, we don't have an attachment to the people there, the group or anything like that. So we're just like, okay, we'll just find a different group. And then still diving into it. Some of you may also be thinking, wait, Ray, how about if that was the only group in the area? Great question again. Realistically, we have access to the internet, so there's a really good chance that's not the only group. But let's say it was. Let's just say it was. And when I say access to the internet, I mean, you know how in today's day and age we do things a lot, via telehealth, meaning online. And there's usually, we usually have access to more than just one particular group. But again, let's just say we're in a rural area or something where there literally is just one group. We don't want to deny the client or ourselves help. So remember, in this scenario, let's just say there's only one group. We don't want to deny the client or ourselves that help. We will want to discuss the situation with our client at the next individual session and set clear, appropriate boundaries, whatever those clear, appropriate boundaries will look like within the setting. Because remember, again, let's say we're in a rural area. There's only one 12-step group, right? Only one 12-step group. We need help managing what we got going on in our personal life. we're just not going to not attend a group, especially if it's something that could help us, right? And we're like, oh man, like it's a small town, small world type of thing. We see a client there. We want to discuss with them, meet with them at the next session, right? Not in the meeting and stuff like that, confidentiality, right? We want to meet with them at the next session when it's just a one-on-one, when there's a, a certain level of appropriate privacy, right? And discuss, hey, these are the clear, appropriate boundaries. And those boundaries could be, again, whatever's clear and appropriate. It could be something like, you as a professional may not share as much because honestly, you may not even feel as comfortable sharing as much, but you're still getting some benefit out of going. Maybe the client could feel uncomfortable and you guys work out, when you attend certain days, right? Because you got to work with the context. If there's only one group and let's just say both of you guys kind of felt uncomfortable, but you both still wanted to attend because there's only one group, you guys will work out something that's clear, appropriate, and, just makes sense type of thing. Because life can throw many curveballs at us, seeking supervision/consultation from a colleague within the field can empower us to make a more informed decision on how to approach the situation. We don't have to figure it out all alone. That's what supervision is for, right? Going to someone that has either A, more experience than us, or B, it just has more knowledge within that particular area that we're seeking supervision for. And this isn't about, giving the whole background story of the client, but like, oh, the client came in for X, Y, and Z and da, 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 da. No, we can simply, when we're having supervision with that colleague, say to them, hey, I ran into a bit of a dilemma, client I've been seeing, they're attending this 12-step program that we've been attending for 2 months now. We're getting a lot of benefit out of it. And now the client showed up and it's like, oh, the client, it looks like they plan to continue to come. Like, what do you think? And they can help kind of guide us, the supervisor that is, when we're seeking supervision. They can help guide us on, ways to approach that, such as, again, meeting with exploring how we feel about it, because at times we could just say, no, it's too awkward. We will go find another group. And if you're okay with that, then you're okay with that, right? Heck, the client could even say, oh, when you speak with the client, that is, the client could even say, oh, you're already there. I don't want to kind of see you. No offense. I don't want to see you outside of the professional environment and everything like that I just don't want to see you in that environment. So they could say, I'm going to attend a different 12-step, and you can even help them with that. But again, if it came to a situation where both of you are like, yeah, we want to be here, you would just have that discussion with them. So again, seeking supervision, that's a pretty good route to go because we don't want to have to figure it all out on our own. And also with 2.05 consultation, A, social workers should seek the advice and counsel of colleagues whenever such consultation is in the best interest of clients. And C, when consulting with colleagues about clients, social workers should disclose the least amount of information necessary to achieve the purposes of the consultation. So again, for this particular situation, the background story of the client is irrelevant, right? The purpose of the consultation is to say, hey, been going to this program for 2 months now, getting benefit out of it. Client showed that we're actively seeing. Client showed up. It was a bit of a surprise, like, ooh, how should we kind of handle the situation? And that's the purpose of it. They don't need the background story and life history and a biosocial assessment and all that. The supervisor, they don't need that. Okay, tribe, that was it for today's video. Thank you for tuning in. And, when it comes to these type of questions, I know it's like, oh, what do we do? Because, it's like we want to, make sure the client's good, but what about ourselves in these type of situations? And, seeking supervision is very helpful. We don't have to do it all on our own. Just because we're not interns anymore doesn't mean we can't seek out help, seek out a colleague with that appropriate knowledge and experience within the field, because, a lot of things can come up and the context matters. The context. Because again, above all, avoid it just to save ourselves any mental distress about, should we do this or should we do that? Just avoid it if possible. But life can throw many curveballs at us where it's like, we didn't foresee this coming and we still matter as well. So the context is important. And there's a few different ways we could navigate this, but specifically for this question, we have the option of, again, seeking supervision to discuss the situation. that's a great option to go with. Okay, tribe, I'll see you next video.